Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Beaver Sports Show. I'm your host, Audrey Wiltz, and alongside me, as always, is the talented Alex Crawford. How you doing?
Oh, thank you very much, Audrey. I'm doing just fine. Excited for tonight's show.
Good, good. And again, with me is Jacob Nokes and Jack Lomax. How you guys doing?
I'm great. I'm excited to be back on the show. Ready for another Beaver Roundtable as well.
Yeah, I'm excited for round two.
All right, awesome. Well, it was another crazy week in Beaver sports, and we're here to give you all the updates. So let's get going.
What a great win on the road for the Beaver football team as they took on BYU in Provo, Utah. The Beavers are now 5-0 for the first time since 1939 when they went to the Pineapple Bowl and are now ranked 8th in the BCS standings.
The most valuable player of the week, who went for 20 and 32 with 332 yards and 3 touchdowns, is Cody Vaz. Emily Yetter was lucky enough to catch up with Cody in this week's one-on-one.
Hey Beaver Nation, it's Emily Yetter with the Beaver Sports Show bringing you this week's player of the game. I got to meet up with number 14 again, but this time it's Cody Vaz. First off, I want to congratulate you for your win against BYU. You led your team to a 42-24 victory. You completed 20 of your 32 passes and threw for 332 yards. That's pretty impressive. How does it feel?
It feels really good. I owe all that to my teammates. The offensive line did a great job all game, giving me time to throw. And, when we have playmakers like Brandon and Marcus at receiver, we just got to get the ball in their hands and they make plays.
So going into the last game, you may have had a lot of people doubt you. Your prior stats were 6 of 17 passes complete, 48 yards. You had everyone behind you on your team, including Coach Riley. How did that feel?
It felt great. That's the only opinion that matters to me is have Coach Riley had my back, same with my teammates. And, what other people say doesn't really matter.
So it really shows on what kind of player you are. You haven't played in a game since 2010. How do you keep so motivated and ready?
It's tough at times, to be honest, but, being a backup, you have to stay ready all the time. And I try to prepare myself like I'm going to be starting every game. And whether that means watch extra film during the week or, stay after practice, get a couple more throws in, I just try to stay ready and just wait for my opportunity, and hopefully it pays off all the hard work.
So when you first heard the news about Mannion, what was the first thought that went through your head, like, I'm playing in this game this weekend? What were you thinking?
I was just excited, to be honest. I hadn't played in the game in a while, and haven't started a game in a really long time either. So I was just anxious and excited, and just get back out there on the field and play football.
Okay, so last week I talked with Jordan Poyer about BYU's impressive defense, and he said that he was not worried at all about it. So what would you say was the key to winning last weekend's game?
The offensive line, easily. They did an outstanding job the whole game, pass blocking and run blocking. Like you said, BYU had a really tough defense, and but we have such confidence in our offensive line, and they were definitely the key to the game.
Okay, so let's go back to that first drive of the game. You completed 5 out of 5 of your passes, and you guys scored a touchdown in just 2 minutes and 31 seconds. What was going through your head at that moment?
That was a great first drive for our team. It really gave us momentum, I think, for the rest of the game. But, it was good to come out and make a statement like that on the road against a tough defense, tough place to play. But I think that was a huge point in the game for us to come out and get a score on that first drive.
So the Beavers are now 5-0. How does it feel leading an undefeated team when you're just put in your first game last weekend?
I try not to think about it, but obviously it's a little bit of pressure. We have a great streak going right now, but we're going to take it 1 week at a time and just focus on each opponent each week. And right now we're 0-0, so we're just going to try to be 1-0 this week against Utah.
So you guys do play Utah this weekend. It's a first night game in a while. What are your thoughts and expectations on the game?
I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun. First night game in Reeser, like you said, in a while. I saw all the students out here camping out. That was a really cool scene, but I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure it'll be loud, and I'm just really looking forward to it.
So your name has really gotten out there nationally, even on Twitter. People are now trending your name. How does it feel to finally get that support from your fans and everyone around?
It feels good. It was great last week, and even after the game, all the support from Beaver Nation. But, I'm not going to let it get to my head at all. I just got to keep plugging away and just continue to improve.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to tune in to watch the game against Utah this weekend. I'm Emily with the Beaver Sports Show. Back to you.
The women's volleyball team took on number 2 Washington this past Friday, and Kimberly Parkin was in Gill Coliseum, which just happened to be filled with a lot of pink. Kimberly?
Here tonight in Gill Coliseum, the Lady Beavers were greeted by the largest crowd in attendance. Tonight, it was all about wearing pink, to spike out cancer and number 2 Washington. The players, fans, and Benny the Beaver were all in pink. The Lady Beavers fought hard as Camille Saxon had 10 kills and Becky DeVoe had 19 digs. Saxon posted a .96 hitting percentage overall, and DeVoe's digs placed the Beavers 12-7 overall and 2-5 in the Pac-12 conference. After 3 tough sets, the Beavers fell to number 2 Washington 0-3.
Pac-12 conference games against Stanford and California this weekend. Here's Hannah Seaman with the highlights and more.
Hi, this is Hannah Seaman here reporting from the OSU men's soccer game. After scoring the first goal, the Beavers were up 1-0. However, at the end of the game, the Cal Bears won 3-1. The undefeated streak at Lawrence Field has ended. This past Sunday, the Oregon State's men's soccer team fell to the California Golden Bears 3-1 in their first loss at home this season. After a solid start by scoring their first goal in the beginning minutes, the Beavers could not hold on to Cal's impressive offense. There were many opportunities for the Beavers to answer back, however, could not produce any more points. Emery Welshman scored his 8th goal of the season in the 11th minute of the game after controlling a loose ball and returning it for a Beaver point. The Golden Bears answered right back in the 15th minute. Cal took a 2-1 lead just 5 minutes later when Cal's Michael Munoz retrieved his own rebound and returned it for a goal. The Beavers did put some pressure on Cal with some solid offense as Chris Harms, Brennan Anderson, and Kyrie Shelton all had solid opportunities to score, but were ultimately reflected by Cal's goalkeeper, Kevin Peach. The score remained at 2-1 for most of the remaining time. However, Cal solidified their win with another goal in the 48th minute, making the final score 3-1. The Beavers will rematch Cal next Sunday in Berkeley. All right, back to you guys at the studio.
Thanks, Hannah. Now it's time for the weekly roundup of away sports. Here to inform you is Jake McGrady and Logan McGinnis.
Hi, Beaver Nation. I'm Jake.
And I'm Logan.
And it was another great week in Beaver sports, so let's get into it. The Oregon State backup turned starter, Cody Vaz, made it look easy in Saturday's 42-24 win over BYU, passing for 3 touchdowns and 332 yards against a defense ranked 5th in the nation.
Moving on to Oregon State women's soccer, the team notched its 10th victory with a defeating Colorado 2-0.
Moving on to Oregon State women's cross country, they finished 25th out of 40 seeded teams in the NCAA Division I Pre-Nationals Invitational in Louisville, Kentucky.
And to end it, Samantha Lewis, running unattached, came in first place and was followed closely by 5 other Beavers at the Mike Hodges Invitational on Saturday.
That's all we have today for the sports, guys, so back to you.
Thanks, you guys. Now with the Beavers 5-0 for the first time, as we said, since 1939, fans camped out overnight just to get into the stadium for Saturday's game against Utah. Here's Kimberly Parkin and Milan Laurent at the scene with the sports trivia and getting a glimpse of what camping out is all about.
Hey, I'm Kimberly Parkin here at Racer Stadium. So, this is a week before the Beaver game, the homecoming game against Utah. Right now, we are standing with the first people in line to camp out for tickets. So, what time did you guys arrive today?
I gotta say a shout out to Carl Smith. He was here at 5:30 this morning, and I came at 6 a.m.
We got here a little bit later to meet up with our group, so I got here about 10 o'clock.
Very nice. So that's really early, but how do you guys keep yourself entertained throughout the day?
Sometimes we just sleep, do homework, we play football. We're playing cards right now, actually, so let's do what we gotta do.
Very awesome. And now, do you guys get much sleep or not so much?
It depends on your neighbors. If they're loud, then you're not getting any sleep, but you know, we do what we can. Some of us stay up till 3 in the morning, and then you know, we're up by 6 to get tickets, so you know, we're not sleeping much.
Not a lot of sleep.
Answer is no.
No sleep whatsoever. Well, thank you guys for coming out here and being supportive to Beaver Nation. Do you have anything to say to Beaver Nation?
Go Beavs! Go Beavs!
Hi, I'm Milan, and I'm with KBVR Sports Show, and we're here at Research Stadium during the campout doing some sports trivia, and I'm here with
Hayden Finkard.
All right, Hayden. And what year are you?
I'm a senior.
All right, so do you think you know a little bit about OSU sports?
I hope so.
All right, it's all football related, so here we go.
Okay.
Okay, my first question for you is, when was the last time the Beavers started 5-0?
1939.
That's correct. All right, our next question for you, when was the last time they were ranked higher than 10th in the nation?
2001, maybe?
You're correct again. You're on a roll. 2-0. Let's go. All right. Who's the only Heisman winner at OSU, and what year did he win it in?
It's Terry Baker.
That's right.
In 67?
It was 62, but that was very close, and I had to Google that one myself, so it's all right. I forgive you for missing that one. All right. Who's the winningest coach in OSU history, and how many wins does he have?
Mike Riley, and 76.
Correct again. You're doing really good.
Thank you.
We're almost done.
Okay.
You're being a trooper. Thank you.
All right, yeah, no problem.
Okay, starting in 2003, the Beavers put together an impressive string of consecutive bowl victories. How many victories did they win in a row?
5.
That's also correct. All right, 2 more questions. Who is the only team to defeat the Beavers in the year 2000?
I'm not sure.
That would be the University of Washington. And for our final question, the OSU marching band is commonly referred to as what?
The oldest band in the Pac-10. But other than that, I don't know.
That's true, but they're also called the spirit and sound of OSU. Thank you so much for playing, Hayden. Is there anything you want to say to Beaver Nation?
Go Beavs.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, Beaver Nation. I have my raincoat on. Let's take a journey around the campout. Okay, we're coming in.
All right.
All right. Right now, you can see they're playing cards, eating apples, hanging out. KBVR, Beaver Sports Show.
Go Beavers!
How do you guys feel about being 5-0?
Freaking love it!
Love
it! Go Beavs!
Awesome. Well, thanks for camping out and being such awesome supporters.
Yeah, go Beavs! Yeah! Go Beavers! I'm going back on.
How you guys doing? Pretty sweet setup, I have to say. This is awesome. How long have you guys been out here today?
We've been out here for like an hour or so now, hour and a half.
When did you guys set up?
No, okay, so we were the ones who set all this up. We got here at 10 in the morning, and the line was like all the way here already.
Wow. Awesome. Well, what do you guys think of the Beavers being 5-0, undefeated?
Yeah, undefeated.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys Saturday at the game. Thanks.
Go Beavs! Go Beavs!
Hey guys, how we doing? Good. Do I see some homework going on? I think you're the first people that we've seen doing homework so far. So what do you guys have to say to Beaver Nation? Go Beavs! Go Beavs! Dedication. Thanks, guys.
O-S-U, Oregon State, fight, fight, fight. O-S-U, Oregon State, fight, fight, fight.
Well, Beaver Nation, they camped out all day yesterday and all night tonight. So,
Beavers! Go Beavers!
Well, guys, here we are from the camp out. Morning, still dark out, but morning. Getting ready to line up to get our tickets, and we'll see you guys back in the studio.
Now it's time for everybody's favorite segment, the Beaver Roundtable. So I hope you're ready, guys. I've got the first question for you. So with the women's soccer team 10-4-1, what do you guys think about their postseason? I mean, are they going to get there? Jack, do you want to take this one?
Well, like you said, you know, our overall record looks pretty solid at 10-4. We're the middle of Pac-12 with a conference record of 2-3. We host both Arizona teams coming up who seem pretty tough. Then we travel to play both Washington teams, and then we have the Civil War. So I'm going to go. I think if we can end this year with a winning record, win 3 out of 4, 3 out of 5, maybe 4 out of 5, I think we have a chance.
I'm going to disagree with you, Jack. As much as I would love to agree, I love the women's soccer team. They're always really good. Obviously lost in a tragic loss to University of Portland last year in PKs in their first game of the NCAA tourney. They're not going to make it back this year. Yes, they have a lot of winnable games at the end of the season. In fact, they should win most of their games, but they're going to have to get an at-large bid. There's 3 teams in the Pac-12 right now that are in the top 25. Oregon State is not one of those. While Oregon State did go 8-1 in conference play, none of the teams they played are in the top 25. They have a very weak strength of schedule, and I just don't see them making it as an at-large bid to this year's postseason. I'm sorry.
Jacob?
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you, Alex. I see them winning 4 of the last 5 games just like Jack does. And with a 14-5-1 record, I don't see how you can't make it. I mean, they did lose to tough opponents in Stanford, California, and UCLA. But if you're 14-5, I mean, you have to make the postseason, so I'm going to go and say they make it.
This is kind of funny. We've got like a table split. It's like you two against Alex over here.
Yeah, the one thing for me is just their weak strength of schedule. I mean, I just don't know. I don't know that much about how the selection committee works for women's soccer, but I just have a feeling that strength of schedule is going to hurt them at the end of the day. I do think they'll finish strong, though. I do agree with you guys on that.
Good, good. Got some Beaver believer in you still.
A little bit, yeah.
All right, next question. I know this is going to be a loaded, long conversation. Cody Vaz, you know, he had a great game. He had a fantastic game. Now, with Sean Mannion's surgery over, do you think there's going to be some sort of quarterback controversy, you know?
I'll take this one. I know it's just been 1 game, but Cody Vaz's numbers were 332 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had great chemistry with Cooks and Wheaton, and that was his only first game of the whole entire season. So I think it can even improve on that performance. And now with Mannion coming back from a knee surgery, you don't know if he's going to be 100%. You don't know how he's going to play on the field. And if Vaz, let's say he wins this game versus Utah, and then he wins the game at Washington, he's 3-0. And we're getting close to postseason time, so we're going to need a quarterback. And I think Cody Vaz will be that quarterback if he wins the next 2 games.
Ooh,
so I'm going to say there's going to be huge controversy coming up.
Statement.
Not so fast, my friend. It's been 1 game. There's a lot of games left to be played. You know, he wins 1 game against an average team. And, yes, he puts up stellar numbers. He has a great performance. But this is Sean Mannion's team. Mannion is way ahead of schedule. He was already in pads today taking snaps in practice. Yes, he's still got time to recover, a lot of time. There's no way he even plays against UW in 2 weeks. But this Vaz, we have a very good backup in Vaz. There's no controversy here. It's Mannion's team.
You know, I don't think there's controversy either. My opinion is I think Coach Riley's going to play the best player, and whoever's doing well in practice is going to be the starter. So if Cody's doing well in practice, he's going to get the job. And if Sean is, then Sean is. That's what Riley does. That's what he always has done, and I think that's what he's going to keep doing. I think Vaz is good. I think Sean's good, and I think we can win with both the guys in the backfield.
And with Vaz's success, I mean, with Mannion coming back, he's going to feel the pressure to having to perform at this highest level. And if he doesn't, the fans are going to get on him because they know Vaz can perform, and Riley knows he can perform. So there might be a little controversy there.
Well, they know Vaz can perform in 1 game, but we got to wait and see. There's a lot of games
left.
A
lot of game to be played.
So let's see how he does this weekend, and then let's see how he does against UW.
I agree.
Then maybe we could talk controversy. But this is Sean Mannion's team.
But I think we can all agree that the pressure is just going to make both of them better.
I agree.
think so.
That's
I
true.
agree. I don't think Mannion's going to come back and be sweating saying, I got to fill Cody Vaz's shoes, because Mannion was putting up equivalent numbers before Vaz even came in.
That's true.
Yeah.
Two great quarterbacks, so I think we're good either way.
It's a good problem to
It's
have.
a good Beaver
Exactly.
team either way.
Yes.
Speaking of, you talked about Coach Riley a little bit. Next question. You know, he is the most winningest coach in history now. You know, he's had this great turnaround of a season compared to last year. Do you think he should be in the running for Coach of the Year?
No, not right now. I mean, yes. Oh, yeah, he should be in the running. Do I think he's going to win it? I think that we are premature to jump on that bandwagon. Yes, he's had a great start to the season. This is the same thing I said with Vaz. There's 6+ games left in this season. And, yeah, he's on the Sports Illustrated cover page today for midseason rankings Coach of the Year. But like I said, that's mid-season. If you look at mid-season rankings, preseason rankings, most of the time they're wrong. Look at Heisman projections. Matt Barkley was Heisman favorite preseason. Now he's not even in ESPN.com's top 5. So the fact that Riley's there at midseason, yeah, I think he's a very deserving candidate. But I think that we're going to be jumping the gun a little bit, counting our chickens before they hatch if we're crowning him as Coach of the Year right now.
You have to remember, our team was 3-9 last year, and we were expected to finish last in the Pac-12 North. And now we're getting like 2 to 3-star recruits when we're constantly facing 3 to 4-star recruits all the time. And we're beating those teams week in and week out. I mean, this is just Mike Riley showing he can take any player and put them into his system and make them the best to their abilities. So I think he's the lead and front runner for Coach of the Year right now.
Yeah, you know, you guys, we talked about in the past the differences between, you know, last year's team and this year's team, and I think one of you mentioned leadership, and I think that that was a difference. And, you know, I think that taking that aspect of the game, you know, Coach Riley taking that aspect of the game and recognizing that it wasn't there last year and putting it there this year has also contributed to, you know, such a difference in record.
Well, I'm going to agree with all of you guys. I think it's a little early to say he's going to win, but
much too early.
If you look at the past winners, Les Miles last year, 13-1. Chip Kelly the year before, 12-1. Gary Patterson, TCU, 12-1. Nick Saban, 12-2. All these teams are winning most of their games. And these guys, if you look at Les Miles, they had one of the toughest schedules ever. They beat 8 of 9 ranked teams. They played 9 ranked teams in the year, won 8 times, and that's a guy who's going to win Coach of the Year. You know, he has a tough road. I mean, other coaches are either setting records or doing something that hasn't been done for their school in a long time. Well, Riley's the winningest head coach. Last year we were 3-9. We're starting off 5-0. It's a good start. We're not there yet, but I think he has a chance. I think you know, our best final BCS ranking ever for Beavers has been 4th back in 2000 with Dennis Erickson, when we tied for 1st in the place in our conference. So the last time we had sole possession of 1st place was 1956. There's a lot of records that can be broken and a lot of firsts for this school. I think Riley has a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to say he doesn't have a chance would be ludicrous. He's definitely one of the top favorites in the nation. I'm just saying I can't put much faith into midseason rankings when there's still 6 games left to be played.
But we all agree that he's definitely up there in the running.
He's a candidate for sure.
The one thing he's going to have to do is beat Oregon and Chip Kelly. If he wants that Coach of the Year award, he's definitely going to have to beat Chip Kelly in Oregon.
I agree, or win the Pac-12.
Yeah, it's hard to get Coach of the Year award if you don't win your conference.
Yes,
if you don't go to a BCS bowl. Even as good of a story, as feel-good of a story as Oregon State's been this year, they're going to have to keep winning if he wants to get it. And I hope it happens. I hope it happens.
All right, well, let's update everybody on our little game that we're playing here. Last week we picked the scores of each game, and, you know, prospectively, you guys got some points. So let's see, we have Alex, 4 points. Jacob, perfect 5 for 5 last week. Good job.
Thank you
and
very
Jack,
much.
sitting out last with only 2 points.
You know, I like being the underdog. So
that's what happens when you pick Wazoo.
That's true.
You know,
All right, so we've got some games this week for you guys. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
So ready.
Oregon and Arizona State.
I'm going to go with Oregon. I think ASU has a chance. I think it's going to be a good game, but I'm going with Oregon as hard as that is.
All right.
You know what? I'm picking Oregon too. Their offense is just too explosive. I have to pick Oregon in this game.
You know, I'm going to pick Arizona State. I think Oregon's going to trip, and they're going to trip hard, and Arizona State's going to catch them.
All right.
All right.
Stanford and Cal.
Cal's coming into this game, big underdogs, but they have Keenan Allen, arguably the most underrated wide receiver in the nation. Cal is going to upset the Stanford Cardinal.
And they've got the home advantage, am I right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, Cal's at home in this game. Stanford's been a little shaky lately, coming after that loss, overtime loss to Notre Dame. And Cal's been hot, so I'm picking Cal.
All right.
Well, I'm going to say Stanford. I think they're pissed off about last week, and they're going to get a win next week.
Okay.
Colorado at USC.
Trojans. I don't even need to give an explanation. So.
Yeah, it's Colorado, so Trojans all the way.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pick USC.
All right. We can all agree on that one. Yes. Washington at Arizona.
You know, the Huskies are coming in this game, on paper the better team, but U of A's playing at home. They're coming off a bye week. They played Stanford very tough the week before. I think the Wildcats get this one down in Tucson.
You know, I'm going to say Washington's really hungry for this game, and they've been shaky to say the least this season, but they do have the talent to win this game, so I'm going to have to pick Washington.
I'm going to have to pick Washington, too. I think it's going to be a shootout, and I think, you know, hopefully Keith Price steps up this game and doesn't turn the ball over, and they put up some points.
All right, well, last but not least, Utah, you're at home at Oregon State. Give me your score prediction and your impact player of the game.
Okay, I'm taking Oregon State 34-20. Player of the game for Oregon State, or key player for the game. I'm picking the offensive line. No one in particular. We'll maybe say Amalu, because he's going to be matched up with Utah's nose tackle, Starlotu Lele, a top 5 NFL draft pick going into next season. He's going to have his hands full, but I do think Oregon State's going to win. Offensive line's going to have to play well, but Oregon State's going to handle the Utes.
I got Brandon Cooks as my key player of the game. Him and Vaz had a great relationship last game. Last week at versus BYU, he caught 8 passes for 173 yards. He's also the only player in the country to have 3 receiving games of over 140 yards. So him and Cooks are great together.
Numbers.
And I got OSU 31, Utah 17. So it's going to be an interesting week.
Well, I'm going to pick the Beavers, 28-17. Impact player Cody Vaz, coming off a strong performance. A lot of expectations, I think, that Cody's going to have to deal with. I think he's going to do well. He might not have the numbers he had last game, but I think we're going to get the win.
I do think that the Utah offense is going to surprise some Beaver fans. They started a true freshman last game against UCLA. He's getting his 2nd career start here at Reser. I think he'll improve on the game at UCLA, where he didn't play bad. Also, yesterday, or actually earlier today, in the Salt Lake Tribune, Kyle Whittingham, coach of Utah, said that they're going to get John White some more carries. Their running back, who averaged over 116 yards per game last season, he's barely touched the ball this season. So I think Utah's offense might start clicking. Still, the Beaver defense is going to, shut them down eventually.
Like I said, our rushing defense, I think, is just too good for their offense, and they have a freshman quarterback, so you can't rely on their passing game. So I just like the Beavers' odds in this one.
Me too. 6-0 on our way, maybe.
We'll see. I don't like to count the chickens before they hatch.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see all of you at Reser wearing your black. It is a blackout game, so hopefully you guys have your gear ready.
Absolutely.
And everything
We'll be there.
That's all we have for you tonight. So stay tuned next week for another round of the Beaver Sports Show.